Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing today? Great. It's a pleasure to have you here. And of course, this is the weekly recap where we're going to be looking at what happened during the week. And we're talking about the first week of December, which happens to obviously be the last month of 2020, right? So a couple of things happened this week. Of course, as you can see on the chart here, we had some further dollar weakness. And of course, when we have dollar weakness, you should expect some instruments, some major currencies to appreciate. And those are the ones that the dollar happens to be the quote or the counter currency, meaning that the USD happens to be the second currency on the currency pair listing. So you can see we had Eur Usd appreciate while the USD went down. That means that obviously we should have USD chef go down. So you can use the dollar index as a good gauge of what should be happening to the major currencies, right? So now, apart from the dollar weakness, we'll still talk a little bit about that some more. We had the last NFP this week, the last NFP of 2020. That was on Friday, 4th of December. And of course, it was a big miss at 245,000 as opposed to 480,000, right? So that was not good for the dollar as well. So that obviously had another negative effect on the dollar weakness. Coronavirus update, we still have that appreciating with respect to the numbers. And of course, the UK, they've given go ahead for the vaccine, for the Pfizer vaccine. So we should be expecting them to start usage of that soon. Hopefully everything goes according to plan. And then the vaccine could go around the world, and then we could get rid of this terrible disease, the COVID-19. Right? In the UK, Brexit talks has been ongoing, obviously, for a while, and it seems to be stuck. And of course, with France saying they're going to veto, with the veto threat on UK, right? And of course, Brexit talk still continues, and hopefully something positive can come out from that. But let's see how that goes. They've been on it for about 4 years now. That's since 2016, June thereabout, ever since they had the referendum. And then Biden, of course, the incoming POTUS seems to be, working on his cabinet with the announcement of Janet Yellen, who would be his Treasury Secretary for his reign as POTUS. So let's see how that goes. He's trying to reshape America, the economy, of course. So let's see how that goes. Now, looking at this dollar index some more, right, for the week, we had a breakout situation here. And as we had a breakout from this support here, this was the support here, as we had the breakout, expecting a pullback here for us to try and get an entry here, and that is on the dollar index. That means that getting an entry here, which happened to be on the 2nd of December, I believe that must have been on Wednesday. Yes, on Wednesday. Now with that, you should have gotten an entry here to sell all this down, right? But unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any trade because nothing came correct at the end of the day, right? Because as we wanted to sell the dollar index here, that means that a currency pair where the USD is the second currency, the quote or the counter currency like Euro USD, we should be expecting some buy positions, some long positions on Wednesday. That was on the 2nd. And then I was expecting the market to come back to this area here, but it didn't just quite, make it for me to push higher. So I didn't get any entry here. And it's always best to go with the trend and not against the trend. So this Euro USD, there wasn't anything here for me. As a matter of fact, there wasn't anything for me this last week. And of course, that happens sometimes, only if you happen to be a scalper, which I'm not, right? But who knows tomorrow. Now, the Aussie USD, dragged a bit. The same thing with the Kiwi USD. You would have been expecting the Aussie USD and the Kiwi USD to appreciate as well, just like the Euro USD. But of course, Aussie and Kiwi too were weak from this week as well. So we didn't have a great push on that. And then the dollar Swizzy, it came very close to my area of entry here, which happened to be a former support, similar to what we had on the dollar index, but it didn't just quite make it for me. I didn't get good enough price action here for me to what? For me to short this, for me to sell this. If not, we would have been sitting on a couple of pips. I believe would have been around 120 pips by now if you had gotten the entry here on the 2nd of December. Don't forget, the dollar index can be used as a good gauge of what is happening in the market. And of course, we are talking about the majors and also gold. Those are the major instruments that I trade, major currency pairs and gold. Dollar yen, big miss. You can see, even though from the 2nd of December, right, if you look very well over here, from the 2nd of December area here, we had the market drop accordingly, but it didn't drop based on a good, clean enough trend. We had this sideways movement, first of all, prior to this breakout, and once it broke out here, obviously you'd have been expecting it to come here and then push higher. But because we knew that the dollar index was weak, we were expecting it to drop further down. But the price structure here wasn't just good enough, clean enough to try and write this one down. So this one, no look whatsoever on the dollar yen. Dollar card, beautiful, very beautiful if I say so myself. But once again, I didn't have that clean breakout to retest. But you can see this gave off a good entry, more or less on the 3rd, which was on Thursday of December, and then we had a nice clean drop, right? But no need to cry over spilled milk. There would always be more opportunities every week, every day. And of course, we already know that today, as I'm talking to you, this is the 6th of December. And of course, the market is gradually going to be winding down for the year 2020, where we should most likely have drop in liquidity, right? Meaning that those in the market, those in Wall Street and other key aspects in the banking sector and all, they start to go for holidays. You know, everybody goes into the holiday mode, and before you know it, you probably I would say the last week before Christmas, you might have some, you know, slow movement in the market, and then before you know it, it probably will pick up from the 2nd week of January. So that means that I would also be winding down trading. No need to force anything in the market, right? So I believe that it will be good for you also to do the same, right? Money in your pocket, your money in your pocket is better than your money in somebody else's pocket. That's my own philosophy, right? And then we have gold, right? Don't forget gold dropping. You should have the dollar index dropping. You'd have gold appreciating. And of course, from the 2nd of December, where we had the dollar index start to drop, we didn't have any good enough entry here. If not, we would have been looking for longs in this area, right? So as we always say, always know what's happening in the market, and the dollar index is a good way to have a good measure of what's happening in the market. It could be used as a reverse case for you to get entries, can be used as a continuous case, especially depending on where the USD is in the major currency. Is it the base currency, or is it the quote or counter currency? So from what we have here, even looking at this dollar index, you can see that for the year of 2020, right from the very beginning, we've had dollar index drop all the way. And of course, as a yearly candle, this has obviously swallowed the previous year, 2019. So if you ask me, for 2021, at least we should get to these lows. But I'm expecting probably we could have a breakout of this box here, marking the yearly candle for 2020. We could have a pullback here and then have a further decline on the USD, right? But let's see how things go. Let's see what Biden could do. Let's see what coronavirus updates are like with respect to the reaction to the Pfizer vaccine that has still been rolled out, especially to the UK. We'll watch out for updates. And of course, we will come back here to give you updates of what's happening in the world as a whole, whether it has to do with the Brexit, what's happening with the Brexit, what's happening with respect to the US elections, what's happening, and we're talking about, Donald Trump still saying that he won and all, but most likely we all know he's going to be leaving seats come 2021 January, right? And of course, other things with respect to dollar weakness, even based on crude oil and all, right? We're going to be watching a whole lot of things going into 2021, right? So if this video helped you out in any way, if you're able to learn at least one little thing, right, then you can as well like the video and don't forget to hit the submit button, right, so that you could get alerts, notifications when next we post more videos talking about what happened during the week, right? So the market will be opened within a few hours from now. Try and get some rest and let's see what the market has to offer, right? Thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure. And of course, catch you all same time next week, right, when we'll be doing another market report. Goodbye and see you later. Thank you.